my gosh, I'm just noticing that my shadow is just like to the right of there. Like, you can see it. I am so bad at keeping focus. Today, if you've seen the caption of the video, the title of the video, I don't know what it is. But if you've seen the title, I'm gonna go with title. If you've seen the title of the video, you know that I'm gonna be talking about products I don't use in my skincare routine. No, this is a disclaimer. I don't know if I did this on my hair care, but disclaimer, not because I say I don't use any of these products means that I've never actually used them, I will never use them, or I have really negative feelings towards them. I just mean personally, these are my thoughts on these products. These are my thoughts on whether or not I think they're necessary or not necessary. Would I have them? Whether or not I would have them in my collection full time, or if it's probably just like a one-time thing that I've bought and I would probably never repurchase ever again. And you know, it's those kind of thoughts. So I don't want anyone, especially people who use any of these products, to think, I'm just like slightly turn the camera, just let it's a little bit more centered. Yeah, there we go. I don't want anyone who uses any of these products to turn around and be like, well, I use them and I love them. Like, it's not that kind of video. I'm not hating on you, and I'm not saying it's bad that you use these products, because I would never say that to anyone. My thoughts and your experiences and my experiences are all gonna be different. So I would like people to think about that before they like start shitting on my thoughts on this video, right? So with that being said, we can get into it. The first product, which I think at this point in time everyone's kind of on the same train with the thought of these products, this product specifically, cleansing wipes. No, I've spoken about using wipes on my, like, just in general, and that is true. I do use them. I just don't use cleansing wipes, and that is cleansing specific wipes. So I don't use like makeup remover wipes specifically, but if I do have wipes in my home, I would never not have wipes. It's just really easy to have on hand. In a situation, if I'm sitting here doing my makeup and I just need to wipe my hand while I'm in the middle of it, rather than just rushing to the bathroom and all of that. It's so much easier if I'm doing like a 5-minute video. And normally I don't toss them just because I've used them once. I normally like keep them if it's because they're really good to have even when they're dry. Sometimes just need to wipe off like my hand or something like that, and I can just continue to do that because it's on my hand, my wrist. So cleansing wipes specifically for like makeup removal wipes, I don't recommend. I don't think they're a necessity. Not to say that wipes in general aren't a necessity. I just don't think makeup remover wipes specifically, those I don't agree with. No. Next are face mists. Now, I am a huge Aven thermal water spritzer kind of girl. I love my thermal water from Aven. But in all honesty, and I know this for a fact, I've used this. I haven't repurchased it in like about a year or 2 years. And I know that it's for a fact, it's not a necessity. It's not something that you need to have in your skincare. This is generally the most nice to have kind of product ever for anyone, like for any reason. It's not anything that you'd be like, I need this in my routine because it levels up my routine. It doesn't. Honestly, a good essence, a good toner, they work just as well as a face mist. Even better in some occasions, depending on the ingredients that are in them, right? A face mist just for like spritzing, it's not a necessity. Because them and toners are basically the exact same thing. It's just the dispensing methods. And usually face mists don't have any form of active properties. They're usually soothing ingredients, which you can find, again, in a toner or in an essence. And it's really just the most nice to have kind of a product on the planet at the moment, honestly, especially in regards to skincare. It's not a necessity, and I would not recommend it at all, right? This one is kind of gonna hit me for the little 16-year-olds and probably anyone who's like the Drunk Elephant or the Glow Recipe drops, or even the e.l.f. ones over their own. And those are bronzing drops, right? I don't use them. I don't see the point in them. And I know that's kind of more like a makeup kind of thing, but they are kind of skincare, right? Because you do it mostly in your skincare routine and then you add your makeup, right? So I would consider them skincare-esque. products. I don't use them. I don't care for them at all. I think in a lot of cases they're not a necessity, mostly because I don't, any product, if I do need like a nice glow, you have face light highlighters, well, face glow lighters, it like in certain products already. So you have like the elf one, the Charlotte Tilbury one, which I mean, not everyone wants that. Some people just want it without the coverage, so fair enough, but I'm not one of those people. I don't tend to find that an intriguing thing for me. I'm already like really shiny on a normal day because of the amount of like oil-based products I use in my skincare. I don't want anything that just adds more shine to my face. I am not that girl. I don't need it. So for me, I don't see the point, and I would not spend my money towards it at all. I've never bought one, and I don't think I ever will. Not for myself, or not for anyone of my friends or my family or anyone I know. Honestly, I don't get it. Next, we've got day/night creams, and I said that specifically because I've tried them. I have been one of those people who've tried the day creams and the night creams, and usually the only difference I see between day and night creams is usually day creams tend to have vitamin C, night creams tend to have retinol, or a form of retinol or a form of vitamin C in it. And for me, I don't think that's a necessity. Finding a good moisturizer just in general is enough. You can have in your serums, you can have your serums as your vitamin C or your retinol. I would not recommend using any retinol during the day, because I would say this, but disclaimer, do not use retinol during the day. I do not recommend it. That is not safe. It is very photo unstable, and it will in any case have damaging effects on your skin if you use it during the day, because your skin is very reactive to UV rays because it absorbs vitamin D. So I would not recommend using retinol during the day. However, vitamin D is the kind of product that you can use at day and at night. I've used it both and I love it. It's not a time specific kind of product like retinol is, or like certain acids are. Depending on the concentration of acids, they are somewhat time dependent. So vitamin C in overall is a both day and night kind of a product. You can use it either during the day or during the night. So I don't see the need to have a product that has a vitamin C for your day and then have something else for your night. However, I also see that day creams tend to have SPF, usually just SPF 50, which in my opinion is not a good enough level of protection for your skin for the day, especially if it's going to be your only SPF application. I feel like if you have it and then you have like an SPF 30 to match up with it, that's great. But I feel like if you only have an SPF 15 in your moisturizer, one, the level of SPF that you're gonna get, I don't think is subsequent, considering it's in your moisturizer. It's suspended in your moisturizer. It's not an SPF in itself. It's just something that's added as a UV filter. And trust me, they can do that. They can add UV filters and then say, oh, we've got SPF in it. It is a legal thing. And so I would never use a product that says, unless it has like a really high SPF, something like SPF 10 or SPF 5, SPF 15. I personally don't agree with using that as a standalone SPF product. And you tend to have that in a lot of day creams. And so for me, I was like, yeah, it's just a no for me. Just no in general. And again, you can find a really good moisturizer, because moisturizers aren't that hard to come by, and good ones, especially the drugstore at this point in time, aren't hard to come by. You can really invest in them and figure out which ones you like, which ones you don't, instead of finding like, oh, I need a day cream and a night cream. Next are going to be skin specific creams. Now, this is kind of going to sound a little bit hypocritical, considering I currently own an eye cream. But I didn't purchase that eye cream. I will say that. So that is a disclaimer. I did not purchase that eye cream, nor any of the other eye creams that I want at the moment. I didn't purchase any of them. So I don't, but eye creams just in general. And I think unless it's a targeted treatment towards your eye, which I want to talk about that as well. I don't see the need. I love the eye cream that I'm currently using, and I have seen, even with my opinion on it, I have seen results in terms of my under eyes being just a little more softer. Just they're not as dark anymore. The wrinkles that I'm seeing are much easier, like they're a little bit more less visible, just stuff like that. So I have seen that with the eye cream that I'm using. No, I'm using a very specific kind of an eye cream, which is somewhat of an eye treatment as well. So it's not to say that it's just the cream. I think eye creams, not eye treatments in and of itself, but eye creams, just standalone products, are somewhat unnecessary. I also think like neck creams and ear creams and any other facial part cream is such an unnecessary product, because your moisturizer is fitted with a lot of the same ingredients and they are formulated in a very similar manner and they are going to be used on the face in a very similar manner. So having them as specific creams and then having to add that as part of your routine is just a time waster and a money waster in a lot of instances. Now, I will state that I understand that certain creams, especially eye creams, and that's the only one I'm going to give it a credit for. Any other one, I'm just like, no, I will stand on that hill. I will die on that hill. They're unnecessary. But certain eye creams, I do see and I understand that they are helping to fix a problem that is there. And I'm gonna give them that. However, not all of them are fitted for that purpose. A lot of them are very much generic. And so my issue is you're gonna have to be sifting through a lot. And I've tried quite a few eye creams. So it's not I'm saying, oh, not all of them are like the same. All of them are the same. Because I've tried the Estee Lauder one. I did not see that. I tried both their serum and their eye cream. Did not get it. I've tried the Charlotte Tilbury one. And again, it was very generic for me. So far, I've tried so many. I've tried what is that brand? It's an A brand. Can't remember it at the moment. I'll put it on the screen. I put it on the screen for you guys. But I've also tried the Biossance one that I'm currently using. Is the first eye cream I've ever tried that I've noticed direct results, and I would repurchase it just because of that. But I'd only ever repurchase this one. I don't think I'd ever repurchase any other eye cream, mostly because I know for a fact that I've not seen any other results with any others that I've tried and used over the years. So for me, 1 out of like 5 is where I've seen results. I also know that the Barbara Sturm, that is apparently really good. My best friend has that one. She uses it and she says she loves it. She actually sees a difference. So that's another one that I would recommend. The only other one I feel like I could ever recommend is the Medicaid. And you're seeing a pattern, right? The brands that I am really advocating for, very expensive. They're not very cheap at all, right? I think the eye cream's like £30. The Medicaid one is probably like £25-30. The Barbara Sturm one is like definitely going to be higher up, right? So they're not cheap and they're very targeted. Like they state they're targeted and they have certain ingredients and they're meant for certain things. And I'm not saying that like other eye creams don't do that. I'm just saying, based on my experience, they don't work any different than a moisturizer does on my skin. I don't see any difference. And so I'm not going to be investing any money into that, knowing that I'm not going to get any results. And I would never tell anyone to spend their money doing that, because I don't think that's fair, right? So that's where I stand on that. And again, eye serums, eye treatments, which is, I said I was going to talk about that. Eye serums and eye treatments, I don't see the need for them. Honestly, I really don't. And like I said, it's not that every single one is bad. You have the good ones and you have the ones that work and you have the ones that will make a difference. But so far, the ones that I've tried, and I've tried a good enough few to know that not all of them are, they're very much generic. The only under eye cream that I can recommend in any way is the Incalist caffeine one. And that is because I know it makes a difference. Because I've tried it, because I know other people have tried it and they've loved it. But for me personally, I've just not seen the need. I've not in any way, shape or form seen the purpose of an eye cream or an eye serum, sorry. Because it's done nothing for me to say this is worth it. The only thing I've used is the one eye cream that I love. And I'm like, well, that one thing, I would not then recommend eye creams and eye serums and eye treatments and all of that from under eyes, because I don't see the need. I don't see the need to spend that much money on a part of your body that you probably will be getting the same results with the serums that you're using on the rest of your face, unless it's a targeted product. So like certain concentrations, if you're using a certain concentration on your face, they can't be used near the eye, because your eye skin is much thinner than the skin in the rest of your face. So that is very targeted. So that's like a 1 in off chance. So if you're using a like 20% vitamin C, which That's because like once you hit a certain level of like once you hit a certain percentage, it's inconsequential. You can't use that around your eye because that is way too strong for your eye of a concentration. So I'd recommend getting, if you want to use vitamin C around your eye, getting a vitamin C eye cream or an eye serum because it's much lower in concentration. It had probably like 2.5%, and that is much easier to use under your eye, right? Same for niacinamide, same for any acids, although I would really want to recommend putting any acids anywhere near your eyes. But same for retinol, if you're going to use retinol around your eyes. It's going to be in a lower concentration to work around the skin around your eye because that is a very, very thin amount of skin compared to the rest of your face, right? And retinol is very harsh, it's very drying, so is vitamin C, it's very harsh. You know, so is niacinamide, so is any acids that you're going to be using. So if it's like for targeted reasons in like that, where you're using really high concentrations of the rest of your skincare, you would want to then invest. But I feel like for the most part, the general amount of people use probably very low concentrations of product in their skincare, and so it is okay to then use that around the rest of your face, on your entire face, right? It's very much a use by use state basis, because if you're not using high concentrations of your serums, you don't need to invest in any eye products because you can use those serums around your eye. But if you are, then I would recommend finding, if you want to use those products around your eye, a lower concentration targeted for your eye to work, right? I don't know. So that's really up to the user. So it's up to you guys, the viewer. And again, lips. I love my lips. I think, you know, spending time on my lips it's very important because I love wearing lipstick. I love wearing lip gloss. My lips, if my entire, like just now, none of the rest of my face is done, but my lips, I have lipstick on, right? And that's an everyday thing. That's an always thing. I always have some form of lip product on my lips. So I want to take care of them. My problem is when it comes to things like lip treatments, lip scrubs, lip masks, lip serums. No. Now, this isn't to say that I don't like lip masks, because I have one. Like, I have the Banana Lips 12-hour lip mask. That's the overnight one. So it's like the Laneige one. And that I recommend. Those kind of products I recommend. I don't recommend lip treatments. So treatment masks are what I don't recommend. So if it's just to sleep in for your overall hydration overnight, which I think I recommend because your lips dry out throughout the day and throughout the night, I would 100% recommend that. But if it's just for like putting it on as like a lip treatment or like a lip mask, where it's like one of those reusable ones, I don't recommend that at all. That's just like a genuine waste of money. And if you saw my declutter that I have, I think it was like a couple weeks ago, where I was saying, a lot of the products, I did have one on there. I don't have it anymore. I've gotten rid of it. But I did have on there a lip mask. It was, I think, the Kinship one. And I was saying I honestly did not see the need for this product. I did not understand why I was using it for so long. Because I feel like after the first use, I knew I didn't want it. I knew I didn't like it. But I kept on. I was just like, you know what? The longer I use it, the more I'm gonna like it. That's what I had in my head. And it just never ended up happening. I never ended up once. It's like every time I was like, ugh, I want to use this. It was more so just like, I want to finish it off. And eventually I got to the point where it's like, I can't be bothered. I honestly can't be bothered. I prefer my Lana lips. I prefer my Vaseline. I prefer the Fenty one that I have. Those are overnight treatments where you put them on before you go to sleep, which I 100% recommend, like I said. But if it's more just like a sit down mask, especially if it's like a go about your day kind of a mask, I do not recommend that at all. They're not usually worth it, mostly because they don't have any occlusive ingredients enough to protect your skin, well, protect your lips as you're going about your day, which you kind of want with lip treatments. They want to be somewhat occlusive. They want to be really hydrating as well and be really good for soothing, like repairing if you have sensitive lips and they split a lot like I do. You want to have that kind of those ingredients, but you also want to have ingredients that protect your lips, because it's a mask. It's supposed to be, you know, covering that, and whilst it's working, it's protecting your lips from the environment and all of that. But that doesn't happen. They're usually just like very light lip balms, and they wear off really easily. And I'm just like, I don't see the purpose. Don't spend your money there. If you wanted to invest in things like your Laneige lip mask, the Nana Lips one, the Vaseline. the Fenty one. Those are the ones that I recommend. I know that Glossier has the bomb.com. Summer Fridays has their lip balms as well. There's another brand, Rhode, has lip masks as well. I haven't tried those, but I do know that people recommend them. People around me have recommended them. People around me have said they're really nice, and so those I would recommend just because I know that from other people's experience they're really good. But that's about it, honestly. And on that, like I was saying, lip masks, like the reusable ones, sheet masks in general, no, don't come for me. I love sheet masks. I love them so much. I'm the kind of person who will 100% just buy a sheet mask to have during the day. But they are quite honestly a non-needed item. They are very much a nice to have. It's really just a nice to have, just like the face mists. And it's not to say that I would never repurchase them, because I am the kind of person who, if I want a nice spot day, I'm 100% buying myself a sheet mask and putting that on my face, especially the hydrogel ones that are like really, really nice and soothing and cooling. 100% recommending those. Now, if it's not a targeted mask, and I have a UFO from the Fumfrail, damn, that was so hard to say. I have a the UFO from Ferrero, and I've used it with their mask and I've loved it. I also have a Dennis Gross mask, their AHA ones, and I use that in replacement of the regular Ferrero masks, and I love it. But I know for a fact it's not a necessity. It's really just there to make it feel lighter. The only good thing about the Ferrero is that it heats up and it kind of like jolts your skin into, you know, blood vessel production, which helps to absorb a lot of the ingredients a little bit faster. But that's really the only benefit of it. The sheet mask in itself is kind of inconsequential. It's just a serum, which you could just get away with like getting a regular serum sheet, getting your sheet mask, your serum, and just putting it on your face and having something warm rub along your face. It's the same level of intensity, the same level of absorption. It works the same, basically. It's not a necessity. So I don't know. I would never say to anyone that you need to have sheet masks in your everyday routine, right? It's not for me. It's not something I would ever say to someone, because it is a lot of money. It's non-consequential. You have a lot of serum left in there, and I know for a fact nobody's keeping that serum to hold to use every day. So it does end up just being a waste of money. It's nice to have because it's really nice for your spa days, or if you're feeling just a little bit down and you want to pick me up. Just those things make it really good to have. But other than that, it's a non-needed product. Trust me. So this one I think is probably gonna be the most like, I don't use any tanning products. You can see my skin. I'm very much like, this is my natural skin color, like 100%. It is me, skin condition and all. I personally don't use anything that is a tanning product, mostly because I'm from a Caribbean country, guys. The sun is my self tanner. And so living in a Caribbean country, when I moved here, I know that I've found out that people here tan, but living in a Caribbean country, nobody tans there because you're in the sun every day. The sun hits you, you get dark. It's really more just like the way of life. So when I moved here and I know that people around me tan, I'm like, why? You're dark. Well, then for them it's a lot harder because the sun doesn't come out as much. So for them it's easier to get the kind of, you know, complexion that they want because they want tan, while I've spent my entire life trying to stay out of the sun because I burn like an egg on a hot day. My skin will burn, like it will just burn. It doesn't tan very well in the sun, it just burns. And I'm quite okay with my skin complexion enough to not need to tan. It's not a non-thing for me. Not to say that I hate people who tan. I feel like if you tan correctly, and that's a whole other story, right? A lot of people tan and then it's not in their correct shade. I don't mean like it's more, I don't know how to describe it. I don't tan, so I'm like, I don't know how it works. but a lot of people tan and they just end up like 3 shades too orange. And then so for me, I'm like, I would never want to risk that to myself, right? But then also I don't need to, like, my skin's naturally olivey, and so it's already naturally golden, so I don't need that. And then I don't know, I'm okay with not having that in my life. So for me, that's pretty much it. Yeah, tanning wise, I would never do it. Not to say, and if anyone around me tans, I'm okay with it, because as long as they don't turn around looking like a pumpkin, because I will tell you, you look like a pumpkin. Honestly, I would not do that to you. I would not have you going out looking like a pumpkin. I've done so much in this video. That is it. If you agree with any of what I'm saying, or if you disagree with anything I'm saying, let me know in the comments, because I really want to know your thoughts on any of these products. Do you use these products or do you not use these products? What are your thoughts? Like, do you have anything to add that you guys don't use, or you guys feel like are kind of unnecessary skin wise? Because I feel like each person has their own thoughts on like what they think is like a really good skincare product, and then what they think is like a really bad skincare product. One, I think like everyone should use this and nobody should be using this, you know, that kind of thing. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. And with that, I am going to go. I have a final vlog, which I think, I don't know which one is getting uploaded first. But I'm gonna go. I have had a really good time filming this video today. It's been like a really long day. I've been doing work non-stop, and I'm really happy to just like sit back and chill with you guys and talk and have this video out. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.